Hello, hello. This is Johnny Cycles with cyclesgaming.com, bringing you another edition of Keeping Modern Janky. Full-time dad, part-time Magic player. Man, we would love to find like a. Oh, they have their own Tameo. That's funny. We definitely need a hollowed fountain. All right. Tameo on Tameo hate, man. Well, yeah. I mean, Thoughtseize is good. You can get a counter spell. A lot of good stuff there for you to take. And we don't really have a good play. I mean, I guess we'll attack and then we'll light stall Inquisitor. Our opponent's on. They take that one. Yeah, that makes the most sense. I mean, it is the. It is probably the best draw. We love just an island. Oh man, Aang is not bad, but fatal push. Um, I mean, we might as well crack this since I don't think we have force negations in the main. All right, well, we found another counterspell, but we do not have any actual second blue source, so that's what we really need to find. That's fair. You know, that's fine. Blue source, perhaps? Still no second blue source. We need a second blue source and a second white source, so we're gonna spell quell something, I hope. I mean, Field of Ruins feel like a necessary evil against meta. I mean, I think we just have to take a hit, right? We don't want to waste our spell queller on something. Like, we're just gonna take two. I mean, just to kill this thing. They can flip, and then end up getting like. We're gonna now blow something up then. I suppose we'll go get a blue source since that's what we need the most. The double counter spells and then Tameo. We can then cast a Tameo if we find a land. Another. Oh, they're just going to draw some cards. That's fine. And then they can flip their Tameo if they want. They don't want to. Should have been more specific. Meticulous Archive. We'd love to find a Drannith Magistrate. And that is something to do. I'm not sure how powerful that is. I mean, I think our opponent is just kind of okay sitting back, not doing anything really, until we put some sort of body on the battlefield. Next turn we can double spell with Tameo and the lights, whatever, and then still hold up counter magic, which would be nice. Our opponent's missing some lands. Holding back that Bowmasters. Yeah, they're okay just drawing cards, which makes sense. Our 2-1 Vigilant, that's right. Can't beat that. I mean, we still are drawing live to a kill spell or a sweeper. Each opponent. That's the fatal push. I mean, do we even care about the fatal push? I don't think so. I mean, the trigger still goes off. I think it's in the, they still get the tax no matter what. Force negation. Do we fight over the Tamiyo? I'm not sure we do. Like, I don't know how much we care about this Tamiyo. Crack a clue. Alright, well, I mean, they've drawn a lot of cards. That's the problem. We do have counterspell mana, but they're going to end up having double spell mana, probably. And or just draw some... If they found a fourth land, they can just draw cards and flip the Tamiyo. It's also acceptable for them from their perspective, I think. Oh, sigh. Well, you know, it is what it is. No response. We'll block there now because it's a free block. And we'll counter. If they do a Bowmasters, we'll counter it. I mean, they know about the counter spells, I'm pretty sure, so maybe they have a 1-mana counter spell. They do not. Land would be pretty nice. Alright, so now we can counterspell and Aang our spell queller, so that's pretty sweet for us. Man, this is a crazy, crazy game. The thing is, like, these cards are only so... Well, spell queller is pretty decent, because you have to kill it, but these other cards are only so good without a Drannith Magistrate out, so... This is this, like, control on control here. Alright, not attacking with that. Sure. Maybe they're interested in flipping. Gonna ping us, yeah. See if they want to counter this. They have 5 cards in hand. We could have done that with counterspell backup, which is probably the right move, to be honest. We might have should have waited on that one. Opponent's thinking, did they really want to counter this? If they counter it, shield it down. Yeah, that's fine. So that's what we were kind of hoping. That's a mistake on our part. But we found another one. Four cards is a lot of cards. I wonder what they're hung up. I mean, they're hung up on lands, obviously, but I wonder what's in their hand. They're choked by mana for sure. They might have a couple like force negations or counter spells. We now have. I mean, we just have it all right now. It's a 3/3. That's unfortunate. That Bowmasters is going to go the distance, man. We need to find an answer. The Aang is an answer. Unfortunately. Yeah, that flash flying. I mean, we're going to put a clock on him at least. A very slow clock. I mean, at this point, we're almost just willing to. I mean, it's a 3-turn clock. Crack a clue. So we might 11, 2, 4. I mean, we might just be in the business of 4, 5, 6, 7. We can't yet play all of this. Right now, we're just going tempo. We just want to kill them with essentially just win the race right now. That's 6. It's a 2-turn clock versus a 3-turn clock. They're reading, trying to decide if they want to use a counterspell on it, knowing that we probably have our own counter magic, or they remember we have a spell queller that's been in our hands since they thought seized us on turn 1. So they know about that. Subtlety. That's a free spell. I mean, we're here to, this is what we're here to do, so might as well go for it. They've had a chance to, they have counter magic because of what they're doing here. We're kind of forcing our hand a little bit with, we need blockers. But we would love a board wipe right now. We have the mana to cast it. Alright, Esper Sentinel is a blocker. But it also just kills us to the Bowmasters. Oh man. It's a cast too. I mean, that's the thing. It's brutal. I guess I shouldn't have pulled the trigger on those counter spells. See it. So the cast, this is going to grow. Yeah. And then it'll be a 4/4. So we won't be able to block it profitably. I'm not sure what the right move was, to be honest. Maybe they can just purposefully let me draw a card to help ping me down to death. It does not have any life gain, and I'm not sure if it needs it or not. Feels like it should have some, but damn yo. I mean, I wanted to counter that, but at this point, I don't think I care. I think we have to hold on to the counterspell for something else. And this thing is going to stick around, so even when we draw cards. Yeah, we have so many outs, though, is the thing. That's an out. Choose a creature. Hopefully we can fight through any counter magic they may have. Finally getting rid of this Orcish army token. Holy moly. That thing has been kicking our butts. That was perfect top deck though. 4 Ursa negation. With counterspell back up. I mean, they've had a chance just to draw nothing but cards, right? Are they going to pay? Because if they pay, they won't have counterspells. And they'll no longer have a counterspell open. But I think you want to. You don't want to pay here. You want to deal the damage to anything. You can just kill this off. Alright, they're gonna pay for it. See if we can't fight this counter battle to our advantage. Doesn't look like it. Looks like they have some sort of 1 mana counter spell, unfortunately. For us. Spell snare. Wow. Main deck spell snare. You got it, homie. You got it. Main deck spell snare. Whew, doggy. Brutal. We're kind of all in on this. We really need to find... I mean, they're going to have a kill spell, I assume. Well, I mean, the thing is, like... Go to declare blockers, please. Get blown out, because all they have to do is cast any sort of non-creature spell. Make us draw a card. And then this lives through combat. Oh, okay. Well, nice, nice. They can still make us draw cards, though, right? And then kill this off if they want. Drawing themselves a card, sure. Wouldn't want to miss your card draw. Whew, I don't even know. We need another Aang to get rid of this Bowmasters, I think. And even then, they can recast it for 2 mana. So, I think we're just probably going to lose this counter battle. I think we might have been outplayed a little bit. I think we pulled the trigger a little too soon on the to try to race. Although we haven't really, we did find another land eventually, but alright, they're going to get their Tameo. Try to get a spell snare or something. Oh, not a land. We're just going to have to, we're going to give them another army. Another land. Another land. Opponent's got 4 cards. We drew 2 lands and a counterspell, which we really needed like an Aang. And then now we're looking to draw an Aang, I guess. Darkslick Shores. What a mat. Turn 12, with they have under 12 minutes left. I thought it'd be quick, but I guess this is the control matchup. They're going to go for counterspell, it looks like. See how safe they want to play it. This doesn't, they don't need it, they shouldn't attack with this, so they attack with 1. Okay, that's fine. Just put us to 2. Got it. We can get the... Did it get exiled? They did. Damn it. The force of negation. Excuse my language. Well, we will continue to plus up. I mean, we're going to go for it. I guess the ultimate here. You're going to flash down a subtlety. Oh, it's a Wan Shin Tong. That's sweet. I think they can just... I should have done this differently, but I think they can just... should have even interrupted the counterspell. on a later turn, so they can just cast it on their turn if they want. But I think 2 more. I'm not sure exactly. It looks like they're going for the Fatal Push. I mean, we're out of cards, so I mean, all we can do is just draw a card and hope to find a counterspell. The second counterspell. Oh man, that was brutal. Brutal. There's a counterspell. Alright, what do we want to bring in? More aggressive package here. We can fight the fight with force and negations, I suppose. I mean, the card advantage from the Tamiyo is just so brutal. Do we want this? I mean, do we? They run a lot of basics. Do we want to just bring in force and negations? Okay, well, that's what we got. I think we got a little bit of more aggression. We got some more interaction. I don't think the Phantom is that great against our opponent's deck. They play a lot of they play a lot of basics. It does give us a flying blocker and clock, but man, I can't believe how much that Bowmat. So we made a mistake there. We did the Aang against their Tamiyo and to stop some of the bleeding on the card draw, but we probably should have done it against the Bowmasters so that we could then counter it on the when it comes back down. I think we had a counterspell. Well, yeah, we had a counterspell because we were going to do it against the Tamiyo, and that would have stopped some of the bleeding so that we could draw the cards. So that was one of our mistakes. I'm not sure. That might have been the only real mistake that we made. Well, we'll keep it. No turn 1 Tamiyo, but and no counter magic. Double Avatar's Wrath could be good. I mean, I think we need that event. We're gonna need that at some point. So I feel like a Thought Seize is coming our way. Yep. Probably take this or this. I think you take. Yeah, they probably have a Fatal Push. Probably take this. Take that, and then Fatal Push this. Yeah, that's the clock, right? So we really, of course, need a blue source. So somehow, I don't know, maybe I should just cut back on some of them. Since I added counter spells, I did increase the number of islands. But I think I'm running like 4 planes. So blue source, perhaps? They don't know about the counterspell. Now they know about the Avatar's Wrath, so they're not going to play into that. And if they have the kill spell, they might as well just run it out. Then maybe they're thinking, no, we might as well Bowmasters now in case they draw a counterspell, which is probably true. The frog. Oh man. I hate the frog. I mean, they also know about this. Okay, well, we can try to kill this. Force them to... Whoops. We don't need to do that much. Yep. Force them to discard 3 cards to keep it alive. I mean, they know about the land, so... I mean, we gotta go for it. It definitely makes me sad because I'm sure they have counter magic. And that's okay. We got to run them out of counter magic at some point, right? And to stop the bleeding here. Yep. Can't do that. And now our shields are down. But I think that's I just think that's our only line. Our opponent can just sit back behind the frog, not doing anything with their mana and just kill us dead. So we gotta try to get through some of that. And this is our best answer. So, all right, my kids are going crazy. Quantum Riddler, sure. I guess I could play one of those in this deck. I do have one in my collection that I opened. And then they get to draw extra cards. Nice. The one card in hand. About to go to 2. This is going to get warped. So that's pretty cool for them because it's warped. And then they can just recast it. There's the Aang. Alright. Well, we might as well run this. We might as well get our clue. So I mean this I mean we just gotta go for it and hope just hope they don't have it. But they surely do. This will stop them from casting it from warp if this somehow resolves. It will not, so. Oh, no, okay, well, I'll take that. I'll take that over a counterspell. However, our shields are down now. Hey, wait a minute. Why did that not work? Alright, well, Mugga232, it's been fun playing with you. And thanks for the games. I will catch you. And this is Johnny Cycles of cyclesgaming.com. I'll catch you all in the next one. Before I mulligan, I want to show you this. Bringing you another edition of Keeping Modern Janky. Double Drannith Magistrate. Seems pretty sweet. Yeah, we will put this to the bottom. We are trying out an Aang Taxes deck where we can airbend our opponent's creatures or permanents, spells, and then they can't cast them because of Drannith Magistrate. That's what we're hoping for. Don't lightning bolt our dude, please. Our lady. Don't lightning bolt her. We just want attack. I've never played a Tameo before. No, Ragavan. Yeah, I've never played Tameo, so I don't really want you to kill her. Alright, so we're gonna get a hit in with Tameo. We have one legendary creature. I mean, I've played Tameo in Commander a lot. She's really fun. Combat damage. Now, what shall we do? So what I'm trying to debate about it, we could run out the Drannith Magistrate to block, and then it gets killed. Or we can hopefully not let them, hopefully they attack before killing our Tameo, and then we can Aganjo, shoot at the Empire. That's what we're hoping. All right. Passed the Ragavan test. Thank you. Almost took that out, but I'm like, oh, I don't think I want to. Scion of Draco. Yeah, that's rough. So that would have been an answer for the Scion, unfortunately. Field of Ruin. Just not sure we have any way. First Strike, Hexproof, Lifelink, Trample, Vigilance. I'm not sure we have any main deck answers for this. That is actually going to stick. Like, that was our best one. Alright, well, that is one. We can't attack, unfortunately. That was our, I mean, that is our way of trying to interact with this thing. Or we return that and then kill this. But I don't think we have, we do have sweepers. Never mind. We're not drawing dead. So maybe we should have tried to draw a sweeper. That's fine. Bounce this, I assume. Just to draw a card. The thing is, the airbending only works. Oh, we can try to get the Drannith Magistrate out. It's got a hexproof, so we can't target it, but we can target that. So we want to ideally draw into one of our sweepers, choose this, and then they can't ever get the Scion back, but they're a deck full of removal too. The Leyline Bindings and Bolts, so the chances that this would survive are pretty slim. Flage is pretty good. Flage is pretty good. Yeah, yield all. What are you gonna kill? The Tameo? Sure. Well, they can't recast it, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. This thing has Vigilance. I'm not sure why they're so interested in killing the Tameo, to be honest. They must just have a lot of other stuff. Alright, I mean, we got one look at this. We got a couple draws, but not many. 34. They're at 34? We have three of the... We have a couple ways of killing this ley line. And that's not one of them. One, two. Cost 4. I think we just have to... They forgot to plus that up, I believe. I mean, I think we got to hold up the Spell Queller. Honestly. And then... I just don't even know. We're under pressure, but we have ways out. We have the tools to fight this battle if we can just... I mean, they can just go get all the manas they need at this point. Just to recast that. They don't even... we would only do that... I think we only do that when we're ready to try to finish them off. Yeah, they're going in for their basics. Their life total doesn't matter. I guess this is one reason to play Wrath of Skies, huh? So what we can do before combat is balance this so that it at least taps, but then we won't be able to Spell Queller. But we will be able to hit this Teferi for one. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, well, not necessarily the greatest for us. But it does stop the bleeding a little bit. We don't have a lot of ways to interact with this, to be honest, but we do have some. And then they won't be able to, if we ever bounce it, they won't be able to recast it. Alright, well, we'll see what they do. They have 3 cards in hand. I think we got to go for it. Return that to their hand. At least it stops the bleeding. They have to tap it to attack. They may not, because they want this Teferi to live. No, they don't care. They probably have a kill spell. Hopefully they'll wait till our turn to kill it, though. Alright, I mean, we're trying. We're fighting the fight. We are fighting the fight. Hopefully they'll try to get this Flage down. But they didn't get another white source, which is weird. And realize they can't cast it from their graveyard. That would be sweet. Alright. Spell Queller. Another Spell Queller. I don't know why they're not activating this Teferi unless they don't know what this card does. Might as well play another one. So now we're in a position, honestly, we'll spell quell at the end of turn no matter what. If they don't have a kill spell, we'll be able to jump block or double block and kill this and not lose both. Blue, red, they might be able to cast their ley line now. That would be sad. Well, we can counter it though. Haha, gotcha. The plan is coming together. The plan is coming together. But yeah, I think they must have thought this card did something different. And go for that Flage. Do it. Territorial Kavu. All right. I mean, we are fighting the fight again. We are fighting the fight. Down to 3. We're dead to a bolt. If they kill us with a bolt, I'll be so sad. We really fought and fought and fought. And if they kill us with a bolt, man, woo, that would make me very unhappy. Alright, we got a jump blocker now. We're doing it, folks. We're doing it. We're so dead to a bolt, though. I don't think we have any life gain. No, do we? I don't think we have any life gain in this deck. But the Spell Queller is a little bit of protection against the Lightning Bolt or a Flage. So there's that. This is risky. This is very risky. We finally killed their Draco. They can't cast it. What is the follow-up? Lightning Bolt? They must have so many Lightning Bolts. Alright, we know one of their cards. Maybe they've just been really unlucky with... Oh, thank you. Man, that would have been nice if we had been able to. Alright, well. I mean, we can flash this down, but then they could kill it. Alright, well, we're going for it. We'll hold one back just to. That's a good one for us. That's a good one for us. It's redraw. It gives us a vigilant attack. Alright, we just gotta dodge the lightning bolt. Oh man, we're so close. We're so close. We have fought and fought and fought. The fight, the good fight. We fought the good fight. If they try to lightning bolt us, then or flage us, we'll have to crack this clue and hope to draw an answer. That looks like. Ugh, no, I don't like what this looks like. Another Scion of Draco. We could draw a card to try to find a counterspell. What are the chances we'll find a counterspell? 1, 2, we get 3. It gets to be a +3. Alright, we'll go for the card draw. And hopefully find an Aang. An Aang would be great, because that's what we as percentile. Not really what we wanted there. Flooded Strand going to 2. I mean, we're going to die no matter what to a bolt, so we might as well go ahead and try to set up our draw, or just 1, 2, that gives us a 4/4. I mean, if they play, they're going to go for it. We're dead. We're going to die to the thing in their hand right now. They have the mana. Blue, white, red, green. I mean, they can just cast the ley line and then we cannot block. Yep. Man. I don't think there's a single thing to get us out of this. Put X +1/+1 counters, then draw half X cards rounded down. I just don't think there's anything we can cast to get out of this. We do have counter magic, so there, if we can draw a counter spell right here. We need a counter spell off the top. Counter spell one time? Ah, balls. Alright. Well, you know, it is what it is. Whew, that was rough, but we have some tools. We have some tools. This is, I mean, this is what we needed. Consigned to memory, I guess, to counter the. I like all of our stuff, though, really. Maybe take out the Esper Sentinels. Take and bring in. I like all of this stuff, so I mean, it gives us a more aggressive, and force negation could be good. Maybe we take out the Tamios. Alright. We got the double Aang. We have the Voice of Victory. I guess we'll try it. We can still just straight up die to. Okay. Well, we're back to. That's good. That is good. That is our only hope at this point. Well, I mean, this is our consigned to memory is a beautiful. We only have one, but it does stop, and then we're going to be set up for counter spell number 2. All right, Bounce Baby, you're very friendly. Thank you for the compliments. It's fun chatting with you. Yeah, I thought I was so dead so many times. Okie dokie, another meticulous archive. Up there, one is good, two is better, perhaps. Okay, well, what we really want to see is them try them to, if they get their second land, to play that stupid Scion of Draco so we can counter it. Okay, so we have the Aang to follow, we have pressure. Now that we have the Aang back up. Ooh, that's nice. Alright, this is why they're in the board, to give us a clock. We drew our combo piece, so this Aang Swift Savior will be real nice. Real nice. I just watched Christmas Vacation. Real nice. Get yourself something real nice. If you haven't seen Christmas Vacation, you gotta watch it. It's so good. A water bend. Air bend up to... Alright, there's their big payoff. Thankfully we have our own answer. We kind of want to land. Alright, can we find... I don't think we have another meticulous archive, unfortunately. The land is perfect. Alright, so that's really good. We have another Aang. We are stopping them from casting their thing from one. Yeah, I mean, this is it's pretty good. Pretty good. And we can, we'd rather this be a spell queller, of course, but we'll take it. A lightning bolt on that. Do we care? They're gonna do something else. They're gonna leyline binding that. They're baiting us. This has flying though. I think we just let it go. I mean, never mind. We should have exiled it because it's got all that stuff. Never mind. Oopsie. Oh no, it doesn't. It's not. It doesn't. Okay, I'm confused. Yeah. Okay, so we can attack with that if we want. We will not. I keep thinking Scion of Draco is so powerful because it gets all those benefits when it's if you control whatever a certain color and then but that doesn't work. This isn't what gives it to it. Scion of Draco is what gets it, and that's kind of threw me there for a second. It's been a minute, I guess, since I played Domain. All right, that's what we got. Scion of Draco number 2. Oh wait, choose an Aang Savior to keep. We'll keep that one, and we will try to counter that one. Spell Queller is also very nice. Very nice. Alright, so this is what we want to do with our deck. We want to have pressure, we want to have the Magistrate, and we want to have counter magic. What can we do? Force negation doesn't seem that great. I mean, that's our plan though. We saw how that plan really kind of came together for us. I don't know, we'll just run it back. Okay. Whew, 1, 2. We have. This is our way out. So we don't have our. This would be better if it was a. Maybe we'll get away with him not having a ley line for a change. We're. This is our way of catching back up against lifelink and hexproof and all that nonsense. Or at least resetting, but we need our Drannith Magistrate. So I guess we'll do Flooded Strand for Meticulous Archive. And hopefully be able to White Orchid Phantom something. Is there no ley line? They mulled a 5. Okay, we dodged a ley line. But you know, they could easily just have a fast start with backup, removal backup, which is exactly what. Okay, well that is a good target for us. However, if they follow us up with a shock land, they can still just playing Swamp Forest, run out of Scion. But it doesn't have lifelink, and we have multiple blockers. Yeah, Territorial Kavu. That's kind of scary too, actually. I think that's a good one. Kind of, it does shut them down off of their. This Kavu is no longer scary this way, although there'll become a 3/3. But we can then blow up something next turn. I almost took these out. I'm glad I didn't. And we're working our way to this Avatar's Wrath, so we kind of are okay with our opponent emptying their hand of creatures. They mulled to 5. There's hope. And when we Avatar's Wrath, we can just blink. We can send our White Orchid Phantoms into exile and then recast them to blow up their other lands. Hopefully this isn't a Thoughtseize. Orcish Abo Masters. Alright. Yeah, well, we do like to draw cards. We also wouldn't mind finding a Drannith Magistrate in the meantime. So right now we just want to stay alive long enough to set them back on their game plan by blowing up lands, wipe the board, stick a Voice of Victory or something like that. Yeah, that's fine. Run them out of answers. We'll see. They discard a card if you do draw a card. They'll discard. Another land. Okay. Taking 4. Do they have a counterspell? What are the chances they had play swamps in their deck? It seems unlikely. Okay, well, we're hoping to dodge lightning bolts. And leyline bindings. We want to be able to double block. There's the bolt, sure. 2 cards in hand. I think we end up taking a hit, to be honest. They don't even attack. I wonder why. Man, we're really flooding out, aren't we? I think. Oh, maybe we should have fielded. I think we're just going to Wan Shin Tong. Draw some cards. And then Avatar's Wrath. And this is a nice little combo right there. I feel like they should have attacked last turn, and they did not. Got rid of one of those. Yeah, they're getting a little bit unlucky. Go ahead and fetch it up. Yes. Of course, we don't really want to see a Flage. But hopefully we'll find a Drannith Magistrate off of this. It is. Nope, that's a voice victory. And we get pinged. They could just ping this. We go for our face. Makes sense. Drannith Magistrate, please. We're okay with them running out more of their cards. We're going to go to 9. And double Voice of Victories. Got all 3 of them now. That's a fast clock if we can ever get to that. 9, it's a 4/4. Sign of Draco, okay. That's okay for us. Alright, that was good for us. That was good for us. Reset the board a little bit. Put them on a fast clock now, especially if we can counter. If they go for the Draco, we'll counter that. Alright, perfect. I think we're going to get there. Think we're going to get there. Especially if they end up fetching. Alright, well, bounce baby, let me try to add you real fast. And thanks for the games. And hopefully see you around. For cyclesgaming.com, this is Johnny Cycles. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Hello, hello. This is Johnny Cycles with cyclesgaming.com. Full-time dad, part-time Magic player looking to play some Aang, Swiss Savior, alongside Drannith Magistrate. This is probably an unkeepable hand given our mana situation. 1, 2. That's a land. Okay, yeah, I mean we can play that Tamio to start. 1, 2, 3. I guess we get rid of an Aang. Yeah, so our goal here is to exile our opponent's spells and creatures via things like Aang, Spell Queller, and then not let them recast them, because we'll have a Drannith Magistrate out, and that says opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hand. And so that means we can exile their stuff, and with the Drannith Magistrate out, prevent them from ever recasting it. So yeah, it's kind of janky. The benefit of this type of counterspell approach versus the hard counterspells is that we get these flying bodies, 2/3s, 2/2s that have evasion. Sire 7 Deaths. Okay, so it's Eldrazi. We have some answers. We just need to find them. It'd be nice to find there's a Magistrate. I mean, we really want that card, but it might just be too slow. Put it on top. We can hold up just hard counter magic next turn and play this as a land. And then start exiling things, if we don't just die. So I did finally fork out like the $12 a piece for Consigned to Memory. We'll see if it's good against this particular in this particular matchup. I'm pretty sure this is the exact matchup it's meant to be brought in against. Alright, can we dodge something scary for one turn? Alright, 4 mana. Hopefully they don't Thought Not Seer us and take our counter spell. I mean, if we can just dodge a bullet here, we have big time counter magic 3 times in a row, and then hopefully we just make our land drops. Sigh. It doesn't look like we're going to dodge everything. Looks like a Thought Not Seer. We really wanted our counter spell. Pump fake. Maybe they're deciding not to Kozilek's Command. Or they have to tap their mana differently. Alright, what's going on, opponent? Chalice of the Void on 1. Sure. That's what they're in the tank about. Weren't sure if it was worth putting that out there first. We don't care about that too much. Pay 3 life. I think that's just going to be a no. So we play Avatar's Wrath. That's kind of our catch-up spell, and the reason why we play that is because, as you can see, even if we hold up counter magic, we can still be taking 2/2 beats a turn. Granted, once we get down to 2/3 flyer, that will stop. But what we want to be able to do is make our land drops, interact with some of what they're doing, and then eventually we can spell Queller Aang Swift Savior to counter what they're doing. No Cavern, at least. Alright, well, here we are. We would love to see a land. We have our life total is fine. We could also just start blocking with the Tameo, honestly. White Orchid Phantom. Is that worth going shields down for? Got 1 card in hand. Would have loved to have seen a land there. Alright. Well, we're going to play it slow. Play it carefully. They have a lot of mana available. They can cast a Sire 7 Deaths. Our goal here is to Aang their Sire 7 Deaths. And then untap and cast Drannith Magistrate to stop them from recasting it, and hoping that they don't have like a Kozilek's Command to keep it alive. End step, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess they can cast it though. I think they must just be waiting on us to commit something to the board. I mean, we could just start blocking. We actually don't really care about those clues. So this should force our opponent's hand to do something. I think if they Kozilek's Command, we just have to suffer it. So we really want to find a land. I guess we already have a land. Here goes command comes. Target player creates X0001. We know about the Sire 7 deaths. It's a ward of pay 7 life, which is really bad for us. However, this is also not good for us given it's converted mana cost of 3, so that would be 5. I think we just have to let them do their thing, unfortunately. It's just a lot of damage. Yep. Can we stay alive? We have a handful of answers. Our opponent now has 3 cards in which they can bait out one of our counter spells and then play another one. For instance, if they don't, they can just play it. That heralds. Yeah, I mean, the other colorless creatures get +1/+1, and then they have 1, 2, 3, enough to do. Well, that was the wrong play. Oh man, we can't actually. Can I target that spell? Alright, I could. Thank goodness. Alright, but now they can sack their entire board and get the Sire 7 deaths down. Which is kind of unfortunate for us because we are at 7 life. And we need 7 life to target it. Oh, it's just a Devourer of Destiny. They're going to exile that. Yep, and this is the problem with our game plan. Whew, alright, well our opponent, they just had enough, they just played it patiently the way they needed to. We were drawing the Avatar's Wrath. They just kept attacking and making their land drops until they had enough mana and enough action that we couldn't answer everything. So the Consigned to Memories seem pretty good. I kind of want to bring in a more aggressive start, to be honest. I mean, they just have so much mana that some of this stuff doesn't feel great against them. We have 3. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we were playing a little too scared there, since we were a counter spell deck. We'll keep it. This is really, I mean, that's a lot of lands, but we gotta sculpt our hand a little bit. Then in the graveyard, White Orchid Phantom something, or Voice of Victory. Go ahead and play that to get the party started there. Start beating our opponent down that way, and then we have double land destruction to help stabilize or help slow them down so that we can get far enough ahead. It that heralds all. What a great card for them. And on down on turn 2. Brutal. Turns all their Scion tokens into 1/2s. We're more prepared to race this game though with Voice of Victory and White Orchid Phantom. As long as they can't flood the board with these 1/2s. And then even if they can, I mean, we will have we still have Avatar's Wrath that we're drawing into, theoretically. This is a fast start from our opponent. 6-4. Whew, doggy. It is brutal. That's just a fast clock. And drawing more lands is not where we want to be at. Yeah, this is a aggro deck really taking it to us right now. We're not able to keep up with what they got going. We're not seeing any of our consigned memories. Way too many lands. We did find our Voice of Victory, which is nice. I mean, these two cards are great, but this is their ideal start. And since we're not playing a lot of, and by a lot I mean 0 cheap interaction, they're just gonna run away with the game if we're not careful. Holding up that consigned memory, man. Man, 4 lands. It's not. And then we drew a land into the 5th land, so we this is not where we want to be at. Oh, Thought Not Seer or something worse. Something that makes Scion tokens. And then we'll be in trouble. Oh, yeah, you want to see our lands? Ooh, yep. That's what we got, homie. 4 lands. And they can give this haste. They can swing in for 9, put us to 5. Avatar's Wrath for the win. Not even for the win, really. Oh. Alright, well, sometimes you keep a 5-lander and draw nothing but lands. That was a beatdown. For cyclesgaming.com, that was a beatdown. Whew, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Thanks for watching. Ooh, no blue sources. We are playing Azorius, Aang, Taxes. We'll keep this one. We like all these spells. Do we dare put a land to the bottom? I guess we do. Yeah, here's our goal right here. Avatar's Wrath and other ways of exiling our opponent's things, plus Drannith Magistrate. Hopefully we'll equal a sad opponent, because they will not be able to cast the things that we've exiled, thanks to the Drannith Magistrate. So far, we've had some success. We just got our teeth kicked in by an Eldrazi aggro deck, though. That was fun. Let's see if we can... I assume they'll kill our Tameo now before our draw step. Nope. Alright, we did find a 3rd land. Let's see what happens here. Would have been nice if that had been a blue source. I think we have to play the Meticulous Archive versus the Drannith Magistrate. We want lands, correct? But that does draw us a card and give us another flyer. So we're going to be greedy and keep it. For instance, right now it would have been good. Alright, so we can hold up counter magic for next turn. We have this Avatar's Wrath to catch up, theoretically. Assuming we're about to see a Psychic Frog. That fast tapping or fetching. Yeah, so this is, we're playing Spell Queller, Aang, Even Interrupter, alongside Drannith Magistrate to stop the shenanigans. We know what we're drawing. I'm about to say we kind of want to land. don't think we care. We're okay. Blocking. Playing a counterspell. Blocking, let them pump it indefinitely. We're okay with this Wan Shi Tong coming down if they fetch. We might end up having a Thoughtseize or having a counterspell though. Emperor of Bones. Guess we'll let that go. We'll get a land, sure. I'm kind of 6-1 half dozen of another, either Crack a Clue or Wan Shi Tong. I guess if they go to fetch, we will Wan Shi Tong. But at this point, we definitely want to hit our land drops so that we can get to this Avatar's Wrath. See if they Fatal Push in response. Maybe an Interrupter. What a weird game this is turning out to be. These Field of Ruins are already making me unhappy. I mean, they seems like they'd be good against an Eldrazi. Should we Wan Shi Tong? 1-2. Get a 2-2 flyer. I feel like they're just going to arc on us though, if we're not careful. And they can do that no matter what with the pitching ability of Psychic Frog. We definitely want to get them empty-handed so that when we Avatar's Wrath, we can Drannith Magistrate and then be, you know, by ourselves. That gives us a whole turn where they can't really cast anything. I do feel like, I mean, the Eldrazi aggro deck really showed one of the weaknesses of this deck is if you want to sit back on your counter spells when your opponent has a board state, then a lot of times you're too far behind before you start countering things, or your opponent has accumulated enough lands essentially to just punch through, cast one thing, we counter it, cast the other thing, and resolve it. And that's where the Avatar's Wrath comes in handy as a way of catching up. However, our opponent doesn't look like they're a big counter magic deck, but I'm sure they have some counter magic in there. In Avatar's Wrath, if we do choose Tamiyo with it and our opponent kills the Tamiyo, then we will be left with it being fizzled. So we would need to Avatar's Wrath everything away, which is okay. Tamiyo is only 1 mana. It would cost us 2 to recast, which is no big deal. Do it later. Still not still not getting anything particularly good there. We were really hoping our opponent would tap out for something, but they are not doing it. See how many cards they pitch here. on Earth. The Oculus. That's fine. We won't do anything. Our opponent's probably like, what the heck? What is going on over there? Quantum Arilla. Well, this one will just hard counter. And then we can Avatar's Wrath away their board. Hopefully we'll find a land. Not a Field of Ruin land, but a land, like a normal land that produces a color. And they still have a land up. I don't think they can do anything with that, though. We did find a land. Okay, gotta dodge something for one turn. Dodging it for one turn. No persist, please. We actually have the mana now to Drannith Magistrate and Aven Interrupter. Manifested creature number 1 is Thoughtseas. Nice. Alright, this is it. I mean, if this is how the deck is meant to function, so if we end up getting really lucky on... I mean, they have a Surveil land. They can Surveil. If we get hosed with like them finding a persist, we'll be very sad because we're so close. We're so close to doing what we came here to do, which is Drannith Magistrate away our opponents. All right. They're gonna have to get super lucky with a top deck, and hopefully it won't be a Fatal Push or Lightning Bolt. We need to dodge a lot, although we have the Aven Interrupter to protect it now. So I like where we're at. Okay, it's a land. Sweet. Perfect. It's what we wanted to see. Now we have another counter spell. Alright, this is where we want to be. I wonder if our opponent realizes they can't cast anything from exile. This is our lock. We're doing it. Persist. What a top deck. We dodged it, though. We dodged it. Wow, we were so close. Oh, it's the first time I've done this, and it's a beautiful. It's coming together just how I wanted it to. I mean, we can never. We need to just keep finding our counter magic, really. Ah, we did. All right. Wow, we dodged such a... They found a persist, the second card from... They found a land into persist, and they're just playing their lands and scoop it up. Yep. All right, that's it, folks. That is it. That's the dream becoming real before our very eyes. If I only get to do it this one time, I'll be happy enough. Woo! That was awesome. That was awesome. All right, so force negations in. I think this is our voice of victory matchup too. I think I like Voice of Victory in all of our matchups, to be honest. Rest in Pieces, though, are good. So, what are we going to take out? Honestly, the White Orchid Phantom is probably not at its best here. Maybe we bring in 2 Tamios, take out 2 Lightstall Inquisitors, go down. They're on the play. Wan Xin Tong kind of rotted in our hand there, huh? Yeah, Wan Xin Tong, man, I was really high on that card, and it's just so much power. But then it feels like outside of a strictly control strategy, it kind of feels like a win more card, or just hasn't found a home yet. Even in that situation when they played the land and passed, theoretically, if we had enough mana, we would have. Well, we had the counterspell and the spell queller. I would really feel better about a Rest in Peace, though. Yeah, I think these Field of Ruins, they have to go. We're going to need to find a land off of this Meticulous Archive, preferably a blue-white source. Even a Ragavan right now would be painful for us. I mean, they're going to take something, right? I mean, this is our persist protection, so we're hoping they don't just find a persist card in the meantime. Come on, land. We just love to draw a land. Should have been more specific. I think we still want to find... Alright, well, we're going to put that on top. So, when we don't have a Drannith Magistrate, these counters on creatures are not as good, obviously. Oh, well, no Psychic Frog. That's nice for us. But, so there is I have a Bant version of this deck. Do we just want to keep all lands at this point? In my Bant version, we can play Eladamri's Call to tutor it up. That gives us like essentially 8 copies. See what they want to do in response. We're one land. If we can just dodge some stuff for 1 turn, we have multiple counter spells. Alright, what do they exile? So Lightstall Inquisitor, I've yet to really see do much of Born Oculus, very much when it comes to, other than just annoying our opponent, because we haven't had it with Drannith Magistrate out. But in a situation like this, it's pretty powerful when you think about it. Thoughtseize, no, Pump Fake. I wonder if we're going to regret getting rid of that Plains. We do have action in our hand, and maybe we should just have kept it for making our opponent feeling annoyed already. I'll take it. We always have game 1. For cyclesgaming.com, this is Johnny Cycles. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Oh man, look at this. I think we got a mulligan. We are trying to Drannith Magistrate some people out of the game. Okay. I hate this Field of Ruin. I've really started to hate this Field of Ruin, but you never know what you're up against. This is a far worse hand than my first one. Alright, Field of Ruin might be good. This is a far worse hand than my first 7, but okay, put that on top. But Drannith Magistrate is one of our key pieces of our combo, and we only have 4 of them. So finding them in my opening hand, it's hard not to keep it. We've come prepared for this matchup, sort of. We got straight up steamrolled by Eldrazi aggro once already. So this is only going to be so good against. Our deck is only going to be so good for so long, even with all this mana hosing that we have in our hand. Dismember, boo, and hiss. I was just about to say the good news is that gives us a bit of a clock, but they killed it, so. A wastes. Alright, well we do have a Field of Ruin to follow it up to kill their next land. But yeah, if we don't find more counter magic and or a faster clock than these 1/3s, we're going to be in trouble. Better be lucky and good, I guess. And they do have a swamp. Alright, now we just need to find our counter magic. It's good that we found our White Orchid Phantoms, a late edition, because it has totally slowed down our opponent who had natural Tron. But now we want our counter magic so that we can start stopping them from casting their spells. Because then the Drannith Magistrate should hopefully hold down the fort. But with black, I don't know, would they dare run Fatal Push? Alright, we got the counter magic. Not the kind we were hoping for because, I mean, it does straight up counter things, which is great. But we're here to exile things and then not let our opponent recast them, and that's where the fun is in this deck. Uggin's Labyrinth. Mind Stone. Trinisphere. We don't even care that much about that, to be honest, but we'll counter it. One, two, three, four. I mean, we just need to increase our clock. 3-turn clock versus 4-turn clock. Honestly, I don't see us. I think we're at that point where we have interacted, we've slowed them down, we found a hate piece, but without empty-handed, we're kind of screwed. We need a counter magic. We need like a Aven Interrupter. Because they could just untap and play something like a 4/4 and yeah, Thought Not Seer. Well, that's why we did cast the Drannith Magistrate, because they were just going to take it from our hand. Come on, like a counter magic. That's perfect. That is perfect. Can we close this game out? Question is, do we want to? I mean, they're so slow. They're very slow on mana right now. Thankfully, they probably can't attack. Yeah, I mean they could try. Nice. I mean and we're also at a point where if they try to kill this, we kind of have to even interrupt it. Kozilek's command, I imagine. Let's see what we're drawing. Okay. We're doing it, but we're we're still in danger. Luckily, our opponent's struggling to find lands. All right, and they scoop it up. And we found another one. So getting rid of Tamiyo was the right play. Okay, so we can beat Tron. I think that's the slower version of Tron, though. Honestly. Wan Shin Tong, man, every time you get taken out. And I feel bad. I feel bad for you, but we have a lot to bring in. All the Tamiyo's out. Do we want force negations just to hose? I didn't see any planeswalkers, but you know they got them in there. Oh, we have that to fight the Ugins. One of those. I guess what we've been doing is like 2 and 2. And then a Spell Queller is probably our least impactful. Okay, I mean, we have the tools. We have the tools. We got lucky, which is fine. We got totally unlucky, if you want to call it that, in the game against Eldrazi Aggro. They just crushed us. But in that game, we found our hate pieces and enough to slow our opponent down, who couldn't find lands after that. And then we had a clock. White Ochred Phantom into Aven Interrupter, Drannith Magistrate. Yeah, so we everything kind of came together, somewhat surprisingly, for the Janky beats that game after mulliganing that hand. Well, this is a fast clock, and we do have two pieces of land hate, so I think we're going to keep it. Target their hand here, and maybe draw a white source. If we find a white source, that would be ideal. Untap the white source, please. Right now, if we don't find an untapped white source, we might be a little too slow. They will assemble Tron before we can do anything. Alright, well, it's not Tron. Alright, so this is the same kind of deck. Aggro. Come on, untap white source, I guess. It's an untapped white source. What did they exile? Karn. We'll trade. We want the clock. We need the clock. We're going to be leaning hard on Aang and Voice of Victory here. What we're hoping for is nothing too crazy, and then have Aang up next turn, and then follow that up with double Voice of Victory and just try to race our opponent. We do have the ability to blow this land up if we want. Now the Field of Ruins are not mocking me. So in the first matchup against Eldrazi, either we didn't see him or they just were too slow. This matchup they're feeling really good. Mind Stone. The good thing about Chalice on 1 is we don't really care about it. Bun it down to 1 card in hand. They have a redraw and they can go get a land. Assume they block, but maybe not. We would love to find an Aven Interrupter. That's what we found. We'd love to find a Drannith Magistrate. Alright, the Janky beats. Will they get there? That's the beauty of these cards. They have flying. 2/3 flyers. I mean, the evasion here, if it all goes well, will be enough to get us the win. Going for the land. An Eldrazi Temple. clock increases. Yeah, that's a pretty fast clock here. If they take it all, which they are. We can Aang Swift Savior if they want to run back to Thought Knot Seer, and then they're almost dead on board. This is our deck doing what it's meant to do, just in control of this game. Ahead on board with the mana available to protect against something they do if it's big and bad and nasty. And that's where we want to be. Now they can just recast. That's what's unfortunate for us. So we're going to target our own White Orchid Phantom. Six is big. But we're going to double White Orchid Phantom this turn. Hit him for 4 down to 4. I think we're going to be okay. And depending on what our opponent gets up to. Consign to memory. That would have been nice. We can't cast it though, huh? The Flyers, this is why we are playing this deck. Versus, I mean, not the only reason, but this is one of the benefits of playing this deck. Is that we have a bunch of evasion. So like Snapcaster Mage would just be hosed on this board. We get to play it for 2 colorless. It's taking apart their lands, and they're dead on board now. It's a thing of beauty currently. I mean, we're shields down. If they somehow are able to play a big Ugin, we're going to be really unhappy. Oh gosh, which looks like that might be what they're doing. Yes, it is an Ugin. Alright, well, I'm not sure that we still aren't going to maybe survive this. 1 card in hand. They can gain some life up to 7. And we hit them down to 1. Or we can go after the Ugin. Or they're going to just go and cast another colorless spell to exile one of our dudes. Karn. Some nice cards from our opponent. I felt really good about where we were at, and now look at the corner our opponent just turned. Woo! It's pretty good. Pretty good. However, they're still at 4, so I don't know how they're gonna. They got a Tormod's Crypt. I was about to say I don't know how they're gonna win this game, but now they're gonna exile another one of our flyers. Sure. I just don't think we can come back. They gain 3 life, they draw a card. We can't consign to memory. Alright, we're not going to give up yet. I'd feel a lot better about where we're at if they didn't have that Chalice on 1. We could have held up consign to memory that turn and just countered their Ugin, but that Chalice is coming back to bite us. Alright, well, we're going to have to dodge some stuff. We're hoping that they find nothing good. They have a redraw, 2 redraws, and a 6/6. And if we end up blocking with this Drannith Magistrate, then they're gonna be able to recast the Thought Not Seer. I believe that's in exile. So right now they're unable to cast that at least. So that Drannith Magistrate allows us to keep playing Magic. Like I said, multiple redraws. We have a nice pressure right now with this Voice of Victory, and we can play another one. So if we're able to dodge a few bullets, what a comeback from our opponent. I really felt good about where we were at. Like I said, we were right where we wanted to be. Ahead on board with multiple counter magic pieces, some more pressure, but man, our opponent was able to, in one turn, cast an Ugin and a Karn and stabilize. Is our last card another Ugin? Whew, brutal. Alright. So much for dodging a bullet. They top decked another Ugin. Ouch. That one is, that's bad for us. That's bad for us. Yeah, I think we can probably scoop it up from here with our single Drannith Magistrate. Holding down the fort. Holding down the fort, baby. Let's see what we draw. Avatar's Wrath. Man, that would have also not been bad. Alright, well that game, whew, I'm surprised we lost it. I won't lie. I'm really surprised we lost it. I thought we had plenty. I thought we were fine. I really did. Alright, Force Negations seem like they need to come in. That would have helped us out there. I think we're just on the full-on counter magic plan, I guess. Okay, whew, I can't. I'm still. What a comeback from Mr. Potshot there. I really liked where we were at. Yeah, let's keep it. We can consign to memory if we want, like a Chalice. Never not have it, right? We can White Orchid Phantom something. We can also just run out Voice of Victory on turn 2 and hope to dodge anything crazy and just start beating face as fast as possible. We'll see how fast of a start our opponent gets to. And if we want to consign to memory something. Never not have it for us though, right? Every game. White Orchid Phantom Field of Ruins. Trying to take our opponent off their mana. Now the question is, do we want to take a whole turn off to try to increase our clock? I think the answer is yes. Especially as we can hold up consign to memory mana right here. Stone Brain. Still represent counter magic. Will our plan work? Whew, another one. There's this tower. There's this, yeah, 4 mana. Thought not here. Probably take the spell queller, I imagine. It's about the only thing they can do. I think my dog knows someone's out in our backyard. I guess you could take that. No, but you gotta take the spell queller. It's got flying. Sure. I'm not sure our opponent should have done that. So we can attack down to 9. I think we'll hold off for now. Hide behind our consign to memory. But we're back. I mean, we're back to this point where they've found their manas, and we can counter something, but Ugin, the cast trigger is just so powerful. So I think this is a sort of like our deck is dirtling right now. And that's probably the part of the problem with what we're trying to do. Is that we're giving our opponents so much time just to make land drops, to draw into cards, to find big, and so many of their threats have cast triggers that even though we've done well, like we slowed them down, we had a board, but they're able to, we're not fast enough, and we don't have, right now we don't have the counter magic backup, and they just have, their last card is just one of the, okay, this is 6 mana. It should be 5 mana, right? I mean, who knows what their last card is then. We know that they have that one card, Devourer of Destiny, but they can't, alright, so Kozilek's Command. Yep. One card left. We need to find some counter magic if we're gonna have a chance at this game. And yeah, Voice of Victory is great, but it gets hosed by a Thought-Knot Seer. And now the Eldrazi spawn tokens. That's what I was talking about last game. Our flyers get over that stuff. But yeah, so we just aren't fast enough right now to have a chance to stop our opponent from what they're doing. Let's see if we can set up our draw. One, two. Okay, we can put that on top. It's not it doesn't stop the Devourer of Destiny though. It will, however, be an answer for our planeswalkers. So we're hoping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that they can do the Devour of Destiny now with this Eldrazi spawn token. So it's possible we should have just put that in the yard to try to find a real counter spell, but I mean that's a womp womp play right there. See, now they can swing in, they don't care. Yeah, I think we're just an Avatar's Wrath, that's what we need. That's what we should be digging for, I guess. What hard does our opponent find? We found an Otawara, which is not the worst land, but it is not what we really needed. We really need an Avatar's Wrath. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have anything else. Tron seems to be really good about drawing things, though. What a top deck. What a top deck from our opponent. Man, I guess they got the Scry. Or did they just... I don't even think they Scryed, did they? I think they just killed. Maybe they did Scry. We're fast approaching the point in the game where we are going to be unable to win. I mean, I think it's already kind of there, to be honest. I just went for Chalice on 2. That's a good one for them. Oh, another land. Back-to-back lands is not what we wanted to see. And to consign to memory. We can kill the Karn. We can counter the Thought-Knot Seer, I suppose. But then we're just dead. I mean, we're down to 2 after the attack. The opponent doesn't even have to do anything else. We're still left with just needing... We really need an Avatar's Wrath into a Drannith Magistrate. Well, I mean, another game that just... We could not get there. The consigned memories have been nice finds. We'd rather have them on bodies, honestly, but although really the bodies wouldn't take care of it. Drannith Magistrate. You got me, homie. You got me. Now we're left chump blocking and hoping to draw an Avatar's Wrath. Alright, well, Mr. Potshot, I appreciate the kind words. As a Tron player, I don't much care for you, but as a Magic player, I have respect. For cyclesgaming.com, this is Johnny Cycles. I'll catch y'all on the next one. And he conceded. Alright, well, he won that one for sure. That was it. But Chalice would have hosed us. Anyway, for cyclesgaming.com, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Hello, hello. This is Johnny Cycles with cyclesgaming.com. Full-time dad, part-time Magic player. Man, one lander with 2 Demio. I think we're mulliganing. 2, 3, 4, 5 lands. God, this Field of Ruin. Tell you what, I meant to switch out. So I play 4 Field of Ruins, and I think we need to cut back with that number a little bit, given that we are a mana-hungry deck with all of our various double whites and blue and whites and double whites, and double blue. And it's good against Eldrazi, but we're so slow against them. I'm not sure we want to take a whole turn off the Field of Ruin the land when we have these 3 mana spell queller effects. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Avatar's Wrath, Drannith Magistrate, alongside Spell Queller, Aven Interrupter, and Aang, to exile our opponent's things and then let them never play them again, or not let them play them again. Growth Spiral. All right. Some ramp, perhaps, into something. My opponent says his name is, I play bad decks. We'll see if that's true. Put that on top. See if we can dodge some stuff. Guess we could have played the Field of Ruin there to preserve our life total a little bit, but don't counter it, brah, with your 1 island. Okay, good. So, alright, now you're seeing the combo in real time. We got to do it against our Grixis Reanimator opponent in one of the games, the last match, and it's really fun. So, we can spell Queller whatever they play next, if it's not 4 mana or less. And then we can Avatar's Wrath away whatever it is that they end up, if they get something past us, I guess. Man. I guess we're bringing in the beats with our 1/3. The problem with what our opponent's deck is looking like it's trying to do is Spell Queller can only hit things with mana value 4 or less. And it doesn't look like our opponent's going to be playing a lot of those. But we will go ahead and Spell Queller that. I'm just not sure how much more value we're going to get out of it, to be honest. Do they have a counterspell? Or another Growth Spiral? Planar Genesis, alright. Alright, well, you're going to get something. What did they do with the Planar Genesis? We would love like one of our more actual counterspells. We have so many dead cards in our hand because of this. White Orchid Phantom has no targets currently. It's all basic lands. Man, do we care? I mean, what are they going to do with... sad, but I think their mana, they're just going to have too many big spells for us to deal with. That our Spell Queller isn't gonna do the job. White Orchid Phantom looking kind of meh. Voice of Victory would be sweet right now. So far, opponent's doing a lot of ramping and building towards things. Flash. Nice. Dictative Karametra. Yeah, I love brews, and this one looks like a sweet brew. Now, what are they going to do with their 10 mana? Still nothing? Maybe they'll do something at flash speed. Counterspell. It's pretty nice for us. holding on to this Iganyo or whatever because I want to, just in case, be able to kill something. As long as we have other lands to play, might as well keep our utility land going. This counterspell's good. We have a lot. We have a lot to do, or we have a lot of stuff here. We have interaction. We can kill a land. We can Avatar's Wrath away the board if they ever do find something big. Still digging. They have 12 mana. Apparently are unable to find a finisher. Oh man, an opponent. Alright, opponent's doing something. Yep. Still no response. And, oh, okay. Always love it when my day to play Magic has got maintenance schedule, but that's alright, I won't get there. I'll be already having to get my kids from the bus stop. They have a half day today. Yay for them. The thing about this counterspell is, I'm not sure that what our opponent's going to do is going to be able to be countered. Like, they probably have a big fatty that can't be countered. Man, this is like the slowest of slow clocks. Double Avatar's Wrath, another Field of Ruin. It's a 3-turn clock whether we have this down or not at this point. Will our opponent find what it is that they need? So much mana, and there's not enough stuff. Alright, another Spell Queller. I mean, that's not the worst, I guess. We could have Spell Quelled their Planar Genesis. We can probably Spell Quell a kill spell or something. Alright, well, they're going to die to the janky beats here if on turn 8 or 9. All these Field of Ruins are really awkward. Colossal, they're going for consult the star charts. Gonna go digging. Alright, well, they can do it again, I guess. I just feel like all they're doing is they're digging for something, right? So we can just counter it. Alright, well that was a not great game, honestly, but I don't know what our opponent's doing. I do know that these White Orchid Phantoms need to go. I feel like the Force Negations are probably just going to be good. Wan Xing Tong, I mean, it is the one piece that doesn't necessarily fit. It's just kind of a value card. Rest in Peace could be really good against them. They have some recursion. We're just kind of guessing, though, for that one. These Field of Ruins mock me. Alright, well, we have the Rest in Peace. We have the Counterspell. We have another Counterspell, sort of. So the Drannith Magistrate, when we have the Drannith Magistrate, the deck feels like it's really humming. when we are able to get ahead of our opponent like we were in both of these matches. But when we don't have the Drannith Magistrate, we are not as not doing as okay. Maybe we should just always put it, unless we need lands, we have interaction, just put it in the graveyard in hopes of finding a Drannith Magistrate. When we don't have a Drannith Magistrate, all we're doing is slowing our opponent down and hoping that we can chain together enough effects, counter magic wise, that we can stay alive. Let's rest in peace and just see if this hoses our opponent or not. And then next turn we can Lightstall, Inquisitor, and Counterspell. My glasses broke. This whole thing is gone. And you know what the irony is? Without my glasses, I can't see up close to this in order to try to screw it back in. It's terrible. But thankfully my headset kind of keeps it in place. Misty Rainforest. All right, I really like this card. It's a 2/1 Vigilant for 1 mana. It's a nice beater. It's no Ragavan, but it does a really nice job. And then it really synergizes with our strategy. We really want to just exile everything, and then they can't play it again. And now our opponent is back to just making land drops. We need a white source. Hey, better be lucky than good. And this is it's a faster clock than our than the Drannith Magistrate. Dictate. Should we just counter that? Then we're kind of under the gun. We have this kind of as backup to be able to exile a creature if they go do a big fatty right now. But that was our only true hard counter spell. Playing their Misty Rainforest tapped. Drannith Magistrate would be nice. So now I can actually blow up their Misty Rainforest. 1, 2. Yeah, by using the Field of Ruin, I saved them a life point. But it does get that colorless source out of our... I mean, we would rather... we would rather have the colored mana with what's in our hand than have save them a life point. Oh man. If our opponent can't put it together, I'm going to have to get them to tell me in the chat, hopefully. Gosh, look at this hand. At this point, we can even interrupt or something, and then when they go to recast it, Aang Swift Savior it, and then I don't even know actually. And then Aang Swift Savior, I don't think that mana value, so it won't matter that they only pay 2. I'm going to say it would be sweet though if when they go to pay 2 for something, and we can Spell Queller it even if it's a big fatty. Force negation. Well, that's a nice catch-all. Consult the star charts. We would like the 6th land, to be honest, just so that we can double up on our counter magic. just waiting on them to do something. They must have something, right? The great thing about if they do have a bunch of uncounterable things, we don't care about that with these effects. It's all. I mean, what is our opponent got going on? Alright, we are hosing them with the rest in peace. Early Harvest. With Sky Turtle and Shigeki can create infinite mana, draw your deck, blue sun, zenith them out. Oh yeah, I was just looking at that for my Boomy deck. Target player untaps all basic lands he or she controls. Yeah, using Turtle as the regrowth. Now we have a almost dead clock. Alright, well, for cyclesgaming.com, this is Johnny Cycles. I'll catch y'all in Alright, well, I like what we got. Surveil land into White Orchid Phantom into some counter magic with a sweeper. To reset, should we need it. Tamio, good. Off to the races. See what our opponent is up to. So yeah, we're looking to exile our opponent's creatures via things like Avatar's Wrath and Aven Interrupter and Aang, Swift Savior, and then not let them recast it by having a Drannith Magistrate out. That be the plan. Alright, Lotus Bloom. That makes me sad. This makes me think they're going to kill Artemio. How much interaction do they play? They probably play some Fatal Pushes. I think this looks to be a... could be an ad nauseam deck. It could be... well, yeah, it's not going to be... Profane Tutor. Okay. Looks like it's some sort of ad nauseam deck. I wonder how this is going to work with airbending. Guess you just pay 2 for it. So we have a little bit of time. We can save our Aven Interrupter. Do they have a basic planes? I suppose we saved the Aven Interrupter for the Lotus Bloom or the Profane Tutor, I'm not sure. Actually, maybe we saved the Aven Interrupter for the thing they get with the Lotus Bloom. These types of decks are scary to me because I'm like, I don't really understand. I don't know what the best thing to counter is, especially when we're not sure exactly what their win condition is. But yeah, not knowing what the best thing is to counter, you're kind of... I've never played the deck. I've played against it several times. So is it best to get rid of their mana producer or their tutor? Spell Quella. Well, we can't get rid of both. Also, it's a bit awkward with the mana right now. We're okay, but these Field of Ruins, I cut down too to like 2 Field of Ruins because I kind of got tired of drawing them, honestly. I'm not sure what we do, honestly. Do we Spell Quell the Lotus Bloom? Or do we Spell Quell the Profane Tutor because that lets them go get something? think we can target this too. Nope, can't target that. Alright, well, they're going to get something. And we do not get to know what it is. And if they do play removal, they might just end up getting removal so they can get their Lotus Bloom back online. This is where we really want the Drannith Magistrate. Because if we advertise Wrath, they can just recast a Lotus Bloom for free. Yep, so it is ad nauseam. So I think our goal is to just counter ad nauseam and try to beat them down that way. This is really annoying though. We do have two ways of dealing with it. The Witch Stalker being one. And then 2 lands basically. And temporarily we can deal with it by Adawara. Haven't seen ad nauseam in a bit. White Orchid Phantom. It does increase our clock, but I don't think we want it right now. I think we're looking for counter magic and ways to interact, and that kind of, or ways to get rid of this for Xing on life. We don't have that many. Hopefully we slowed them down. Enough that we can find an answer, start digging for answers. So the best thing that could happen is we get them down to swinging in for lethal, and then before we do that, blow up their Phyrexian on life. That's what we really want. So let's draw some cards. That's a nice one. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we just have to pass the turn. And try to keep digging if they don't do anything. Get them on a fast clock if they do, because we'll get both of these down, and then hopefully we find or actually dig and get a fast clock with this, hopefully. But yeah, we're really hoping to find a way to stop them from going off. Alright, let's find something. Drannith Magistrate is good. Planes. So fast clock now. Nah, man, if it even... Yeah, we just... It's going to put them to... We're going to start chipping away now at their life total. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's exile something from their hand. Costs 1 more to cast, not 2 more. That's good to remember. Good to read your own cards. So we could go ahead and run out the Drannith Magistrate to prevent them from doing that. We'll see what they actually exile. If it is like... Something like an ad nauseam, we might do that if it's some sort of garbage card we want. Hopefully our double protection here will stop anything they can do on their next turn, and then we can swing in for lethal. Yeah, that's not going to do much against us. We do play counter magic, though. Look at all these creatures. Alright, this is the turn that they have to go for it. They do have, like, they can't lose the game. And it's got split seconds, so I don't think we can counter magic that. Although we can exile it? I don't know. Split seconds, crazy. It's an interesting type of card. I don't think we... Once it gets on the stack, I don't think we can do anything. It's just, another Wanshing Dong. Okay. Well, let's make you exile something else. They're digging and digging for their ad nauseam, but they cannot find it. Pact of Negation. More things they cannot. That maybe you don't have any targets for. I mean, counter target spell is fine. Do they die? 9 infect. So close. Alright, one more turn. They can find any number of ways to stop us from killing them. At this point, I just want to preordain. I want to kill. They have 2 cards in hand. Just stop them from digging, I guess. I think they would have been going for it already if they could. Force a negation. Counter target spell. They got 1 card. Is it ad nauseam? I don't know if it matters. We'll just let it go. We want to save our even interrupter for our Aang Swift Savior. For anything they find. And we have so much counter magic to use to stop what they're doing that even if we have the time. If they have to chain together, preventing themselves from dying multiple times for us not to get there, I think, with what's in our hand. I think ad nauseam does not want to be playing against what we're doing. Let's just put it that way. Thassa's Oracle. Pact of Negation. Number whatever. Alright, I guess they got us if they can win here, which they might be able to. I don't think they have 3 manas, is that right? Or they can remove 2 counters. If their last card's ad nauseam. Spoils of the Vault. Choose a card name, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a card with that name. Then put that card into your hand. Exile other cards, and then you lose life for each card exiled. Alright, well I think we're dead. I don't know. I think that's their combo. So they go to -39, but then with that on the stack. So I guess we should not have countered that preordain. That's the lesson there. They had multiple ways to fight. They had multiple counter spells. Let's put it that way. Counter target triggered ability or colorless spell. That seems like it could be good. Alright, so we don't need those. I kind of want to bring in just more clock. We'll keep it. I like it. We don't have double blue yet, but we do have the Drannith Magistrate. The gig will be up. The jig will be up when they see that come down. Okay, so we have things. We got things. The Consigned to Memory can counter the Thassa's Oracle trigger when they go to win the game, if I can do it all right. Opponent's saying they play Vintage. Vintage is like a mystery to me. I can't even imagine what that format's like and how quick a games end. I guess we'll go ahead and run out the Verge since it gives us the most upside if we draw an island to hold up counter magic. Okay, well Tamio's good. We're just going to play on curve. We'll see if it lives or if our opponent is again just playing to their combo and not just going to ignore what we're doing for the most part. Still would like to find a blue source, but even if we don't, we have... Whoops. We do have the Spell Queller. I just don't know that they're ever going to play anything we want to Spell Quell short of Phyrexian Unlife. I think there would be Thoughtseize in there somewhere, right? And the slowest of slow clocks, Profane Tutor. Okay. I think we just run out the Tamio, even though it takes us off a counterspell. And we just try to start drawing cards. Start the slow beats. This is why I brought in Voice of Victory. Shuts down some of their counter magic, although they usually go off on their own turn. And then it gives us a faster clock. That way we might actually be able to steal a victory before they can set themselves up. Another Profane Tutor. Suppose we're okay with lands from moving forward. Alright, now I gotta chat in also not F6 through anything. I mean, we'll just start cracking clues. Oh, there's our Voice of Victory. That's what we wanted to see. Gives us a little bit of a clock. In the last game, our opponent just kept passing the turn, and kept passing the turn, and then eventually just won the game. It was crazy. It was crazy. Alright, we finally have a clock, folks. We finally have a legit clock. Should I just counter the triggered ability? Also think I missed, I mean, I clearly don't understand how that works because I missed my counter magic on it and I would have countered it. I would have liked to have countered it, actually. My plan was to counter it. I don't know though, I mean, you saw we countered a lot of stuff last game and it didn't matter, so maybe we need to just save it for something something that's not a tutor. Save it for the thing they tutor, I suppose. They're going to get another tutor, which we'll have a chance to counter, and then we'll see. We'll go from there. Dimir Luris. Huh. Okay. Have to check that out. Thanks for the recommendation. Alien Workshop. Let's see how. We're getting to the point where we're going to probably Field a Ruin just to get another blue source, but we need 4 total to do everything in our hand. But I do think yeah, I don't know. I guess one of the benefits of playing a deck like this when your is that your opponent isn't going to be as familiar with it as some of the more tier decks. I don't know if we made a mistake last game. We could have waited. We could have let them get the preordained resolve and not counter it because they had multiple counter spells. So they would have countered both of the things we had. We would try to use against. Let's go ahead and get rid of that so we get another island. Then our deck. Draw a card. Another Tameo, not the greatest. Counterspells. Happy to see a counterspell. Happy to have a clock. Still wouldn't mind having another, now that we drew another counterspell, another blue source. Opponent's been digging. Have they finally found what they needed? We really want to save this for the Thassa's Oracle. Alright, 2-turn clock. It's going to come down to this turn. Do we fight the right battle with our counter magic and get there? Or does our opponent have all the things they need? Angels of Grace. As long as this spell is on the stack, players can't cast spells or activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. Hey, hey, hey. Well. This is the turn. Ad nauseam. Yeah, this might be still it. They have another one. Alright. We won the counter war. So now that went to plan. We saw our card draw again. Maybe we just take this out from bring back in that counter magic. It's so important in our deck to have it when we need it. Okay, well, we fought the counter battle correctly. which is good for us. We have... Okay, I mean, this is what we want. We have a clock again. We have 2 counter spells. We don't have our way of drawing cards, but I think this is okay. This Voice of Victory might be enough, preordain. They may, although I don't know. I think they wait to, they save their free counter. I don't think they have a free counter spell they can cast without dying, so they're not going to be able to do that. But okay, this again gives us the possibility of having a blue source, double blue next turn. And it will give, not that we have a counter spell, but it does turn on our hand. That was a good draw for us, at least for now. We wouldn't mind getting that Tamiyo online. That it's just it's so powerful in keeping us in this game. Alright, well that's our clock. Backed up with some counters over here. And we're making our land drops. And we will for the foreseeable future, which means we can... I think I brought in the Force Negations. I just haven't found any. Which means we can get to the point where we can double counter again and perhaps triple with this Consigned to Memory sleight of hand. So the way this works, if you're still watching, our opponent spends a lot of time digging and making their land drops. And we're trying to race them and get there before they can go off and win. Cast that Angel's Grace, which we can't respond to. And that's our plan. I'm not sure that's the right land, to be honest. But it does allow us to, if our opponent doesn't do anything, blow something up, get probably an island, since that seems to be what we need the most of. I just don't... Do we care? I guess we care. I don't know. It does increase our clock, but it puts our shields down for them doing some nonsense. Like getting a Phyrexian Unlife down, which we do not want to see. Alright, missing the land drops. We don't mind that. So this increases our clock considerably. We want that. I think stock up is 2 mana, and they probably don't want to use. Giving them a little shuffle there, get them back into finding lands. A Drannith Magistrate. That's a good one for us. But I don't think it matters. I mean, this is not the deck. I should say this. Yeah, this is not the matchup for Drannith Magistrate to really shine. Guess we don't care. Well, we might care. Okay, this is it. We may have misplayed just by tapping down low enough that we don't have to consign to memory, but our opponent's mana screwed, so I don't know if they're going to get there with 3 mana. And our fast clock, right? I mean, it's a turn 6. You know, I kept that witch guy on top and then shuffled my deck. I was really hoping for that card, but oh well, too late now, and I don't think it's going to matter. And this stops them from casting Angel's Grace on our turn, which is pretty sweet. Sorry, this stops them from casting Angel's Grace on our turn, which keeps them from being able to win that way. I really think Prismatic Ending on that. Spell Queller. They could have Force Negation, but then they would die to their own Force Negation. Except they can do Angel's Grace. To stay alive. Well, there goes our clock. Down to 1 over here. Play the Tameo. 1, 2, 3 for that. 1 for that. I think we'll hold on to Ottawara for now. You never know. It can return an enchantment. So it can return. Alright, split second, Angel's Grace. Yep, no response. We can Ottawara their Phyrexian Unlife, which is why we're holding on to it. Making the land drops. This is Oracle. Alright, let's see if we can figure out the right consign to memory thing. Ah. Alright, well, that was sweet. That was pretty sweet. Alien Workshop. GG's. Enjoyed it. You had the counter. I had enough counters in game 2. You had enough counters in game 3. And good luck with the deck. Alright, again, thanks a lot for cyclesgaming.com. This is Johnny Cycles. I'll catch y'all in the next one.